I wanted to watch the new Nakey Jakey video so bad. Now, Nakey Jakey, he is definitely one of my favorite creators on YouTube. Oh, oops. We're not going to talk about that one. Nakey Jakey is one of my favorite creators of all time. I love him. I've watched like every single one of his videos at least twice. So I put this here on my watch later because he released a new video and it's about Starfield, and I fucking hate Starfield, and I made a tweet about it, about how I fucking refunded that shitty ass game because Starfield's stinky game and I hate it, and like I refunded it after 10 hours. I was like, wow, this is a bad game. His music, dude, holy shit. Wait, hold on. Dude, Zet, hold on. You got a refund after 10 hours? I did. Steam accepted the refund. Hold on. Let me go through my playlist real quick. Zet, you're gonna love this. Zet, you're gonna come when you see this. But look, I have Nakey Jakey's I have like all of his stuff like on my thing.
And the Oscar goes to...
Dude, I fucking love his music. Oh wow. Like totally freaking me out. I feel like I could be going down in a second. This sounds awesome. Oh wow. Anyway, I like Jakey's music. Jakey is a very good content creator, and I'm obsessed with him. Rom-com was legit. It really was legit. All right, let's get into this. Let's watch his video.
I have made not one, but 2 separate videos claiming that Blank's game design is outdated. And while I'm very proud of those videos and I pretty confidently stand by those critiques, I wasn't planning on ever using the same outdated title again because I just didn't want it to become this gross YouTuber-y series where I'm just the outdated guy.
What is up, gamers? Welcome back to part 39 of Outdated Stuff. Today, we're going to be taking a look at this.
Sidebar: How's it in a space game? There's only like 5 laser weapons out of the 28 weapons in the game. Oh man. I'm gonna give my like thesis on Starfield real quick. It's just effectively what I think about Starfield. Like the reason why I don't like it is because it's multiple reasons. One, the game doesn't feel like an open world. Okay, that's the biggest that is the biggest thing, hands down, is that Starfield does not feel like an open world at all, right? In Skyrim and in Fallout, those are handcrafted worlds with set locations that are very memorable, right? And in Skyrim, you can take me to any place in Skyrim and I can tell you roughly where it is on the map, right? Like if I played Skyrim GeoGuessr, I can tell you roughly where it is, right? Not so much with Fallout because I haven't played Fallout 4 as much, but I feel like I could do pretty well in Fallout, right? Starfield does not have that. Starfield has randomly generated planets with randomly generated locations and areas based off of where you land. The only set and made areas are like the cities, for example, right? And the cities are big, they're confusing, there is no map to navigate them, and thus you just get lost and frustrated navigating these big ass fucking dumb cities. I fucking hated that in Starfield. Starfield fucking stunk so bad because nothing in the world felt like it was handcrafted. All it felt like is that it was just shot out by a procedurally generated system, and none of it felt like it was made specifically for a purpose, right? There's no need to travel anywhere, so it's just one big loading screen. That's another thing. Holy shit! It's just all one big loading screen. I feel like that I could get down with Starfield is if I wasn't in menus every 10 fucking minutes looking at shit. Like, hey, okay, I go into my ship, I go into a menu, I go into a menu to fast travel to a planet, I go into another menu to go to a specific spot in that planet. I land on the planet, I search around for a little bit, I go back into my ship, and then I do all the fucking loading screen bullshit all over again. I fucking hated that. And I fucking Starfield it kept getting in its own way. Starfield kept getting in its own way with loading screens. None of it felt special, and worst of all, the story talked to me like I was a fucking child. Like, what was, oh god, I need to find the video of Starfield versus Cyberpunk cutscene comparison. Straight sex, we're not talking about gay sex, okay? Look at this video here. This is a video directly comparing Starfield's cutscenes to Cyberpunk's cutscenes.
We're on their turf. So what do you want?
The music, you feel the
You look
tensity.
different in person. Our public relations always insists on doing some touch-ups for the official photos. Embarrassing, really.
You got a bot. Model MT0D12, called the Flathead.
Look at this.
And the hell you care?
Guy I represent already paid Brick for it. I'm just here for the pickup. I
Uh-huh.
can talk direct to Royce if necessary.
It feels awesome.
You talk to me.
It feels
Then it's
immersive. You
Your
feel the
security
tension,
here
and then
going
there's
to
this
stand or
shit
sit for
where
this
it's
little
direct.
meeting?
When you put it,
Making
it's
me
like when
nervous.
you say it out of like context, like in a vacuum, where it's like Starfield has bad storytelling and bad cutscenes.
So polite. Almost makes me
It-
forget what planet I'm on.
Like, it doesn't hit you until you directly compare it to something like Cyberpunk, okay? And this isn't like a random moment from the game where this was like just the worst moment they could pick out. These are both negotiation scenes where they're buying something from someone for a certain amount of money. These are both negotiation scenes where they are buying something that is really important to their cause and what they do. And it's fucking stupid, and it feels
Now, Cap,
boring.
planet.
Is a fucking vibe. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, no, man, Starfield really shit the bed with everything.
This expired banana on my counter. If that ain't outdated, then you better call the dog catcher, because it must be raining cats and dogs out here. But when thinking about the past 10 years of Bethesda Game Studios' catalog, Fallout 4, Fallout
Okay.
76, a billion more versions of Skyrim, and now Starfield,
When you put it out like this, when you lay it out on the table like this, Bethesda's catalog does look really pathetic. There's Fallout 4, which was good. I liked it. There's Fallout 76, which, when I played the beta for it, I refunded it the same day. How much for a search history reveal on stream? I can't do that. I don't want to get arrested. And then there's Skyrim, and then there's Starfield. Just, man, this is pathetic. Like, I played through most of the Region Industries, whatever they're called, and 80% of the quest line is like, go here, do X, come back, and it's just a lot of loading. Yeah, it's... Is it
There
because
not
the
a
first
more
search is Mal?
succinct
We don't
or
talk about Mal.
accurate word to describe how I feel about these games. I have personally made things that some people did not like and criticized, and that's great. Honestly, that's fine. That's exactly how it should be. Why am I saying that right now?
just to say that I know what it feels like. I want to make it clear that I have a lot of respect and appreciation for the hardworking individual devs that crunch 12-hour days to release AAA games on time that we all get to play.
Thank you for making video games, everyone who makes video games out here in the prairie.
So I promise I don't mean to be hyperbolic or dramatic just for the sake of it when I say I am truly baffled by Starfield. It is seriously shocking to see just how little this game attempts to improve or even successfully reuse the same formula and same Frankenstein game engine that Bethesda have been selling to their fans for well over a decade. I cannot understand how this is the space adventure Todd Howard has dreamt of making for
Like, it's... I think Starfield... I think they had a good idea and direction on where they were going with it. I think Starfield is a good base. Okay? I think as a base of, like, this is, like, where we want to start. I think Starfield is a good base. But I don't think Bethesda had the technology or they had the talent to do this game like they wanted to. I do not think that Bethesda has the talent to do the games that they want to do. I'm just going to say it. They do not have the storytellers to make compelling stories that don't make people feel like children. It's like The thing that I hate most about Starfield is that it acts like you have a choice when you don't. I think if Bethesda just went all in on just either being a very choice heavy game like Baldur's Gate, or if they went all in on it being like a linear story, I think if they went all in on one of those, I think that they would find success. However, they try to do both. And when you try to do both, neither of them are going to be the best that they can be. So I think Bethesda just needs to figure out whether they want their game to be like a Baldur's Gate or a Mass Effect, or if they want it to be like a Naughty Dog type game, you know? Like Last of Us or Spider-Man. You know? It's everything about Starfield is really mediocre, and I just feel like I said, I just don't think they had the talent, or I don't think they had, I think they were just trying to split off into too many different ideas, and it's like none of them ended up being good.
25 years and cooked in the oven.
The people who made Skyrim together were so fed up with Starfield that they stopped working. I saw that. The people who made Skyrim together, which is a multiplayer mod for Skyrim, they wanted to make a multiplayer game. They wanted to make a multiplayer mod for Starfield, but then they realized that Starfield was such a bad game that they just gave up and they didn't want to do the mod anymore. If they made the planets closer so there was actually a reason to fly ships and not fast travel, it would have been better. Well, even if you fly ships in Starfield, like, you just pass through the planets. Like, it's like there's a like Starfield passing through planet. Like where's the clip of that person like flying into a planet? Was it this person?
Last Thursday, I made a video.
It was this person. Yeah. She spent like 1 million years trying to fly into a fucking planet. It's right here.
A few meters away, you start to see the headlights of the ship show up on the planet.
See?
So, it's like a
So
big
she's really close to the planet,
white
right?
light.
She wants to fly onto it.
Ooh.
And then she passes through the other side of it. Pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. God. It's like, I wish that they, like, why couldn't they just like kind of steal what No Man's Sky did? You know? I don't know. If they want to make a space game, go all the way. Don't half-ass it. Panky, what would you give me if I trade you 2 Aussie doodle puppies? What the fuck?
But I wanted to try. I really wanted to understand. I wanted to love this troubled game so bad.
Okay, yeah. Okay, this is also a good point. I keep pausing, but like it's because I have so much to say. It's just I don't want Bethesda to be bad. That is not my intention. That is not what I want to see happen from them. I don't want Bethesda to be bad. I want them to succeed. I want them to do good. But it's not like I want to see them fail. I want good games, but God, this game was just so mediocre.
And I stayed committed to this relationship for hours and hours and hours, ignoring every possible red flag that came my way. But I can't do it anymore, and I feel like I have to make this video just purely for my own sanity.
No, this one is for me, because this damn space game changed me. People often describe Bethesda games as Bethesda games.
Have I played Dishonored? I played Dishonored 1, not the second one, but I played Dishonored 1 and that was a very good game.
But what does that even mean?
In 2011, I would have said open world action RPG where you could go anywhere, do anything, good or evil, knight or wizard, but you're definitely gonna be a sneak archer like every single time without fail. To me, it meant giant
Real.
world with total player freedom to do what they wanted to do. Don't like someone? Shoot them in the face. Want someone's stuff? Sneak behind their waist. Want to climb that mountain? Hump it on the face. Fallout 3 was my first Betty game after convincing my dad that, nah, dude, it's not violent at all. You don't have to be violent. You could choose to be good and talk your way out of every situation.
Which was
I remember I really wanted to play Fallout 3. But my dad never let me because he said it was too violent. But he had a copy of Fallout 3 that he played like on his 360, and I had my own 360 at the time. So what I did is that when he was at church, I went into his room and I stole his copy of Fallout 3 and I played it. And when he came home, he caught me playing Fallout 3 and he started yelling at me and he started tearing me a new one and be like, how dare you steal Fallout 3? How dare you play this game? You're not supposed to play this. And then he was like, he did the parent thing of like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just very disappointed. My dad was a bit of a hard ass. But my first game was Oblivion. My very first Bethesda game was Oblivion, and I fell in love with Oblivion. I remember I would sit down on the carpet floor in my living room, and I'd load up Oblivion, and I'd sit there and I'd stare up at the TV, and I would play that for hours at a time. I remember doing that. I used to do e-learning. Or I used to be online. I used to do online schooling, right? Like when I was in elementary school. And as part of online school, they would send you like a PC that you could use to do the online school on, right? So like what I did is that I would like go on like the PC that was given to me because of online schooling, and I would I would look up guides on Oblivion on YouTube on there back when YouTube was like, you know, like an old ass website, right? I remember like looking up guides for Oblivion on there all the time and like whatever, and I have a lot of good memories with Oblivion, and I listen to the soundtrack like every day. It's really good.
total fucking bullcrap.
Yes, these games might be RPGs, but they heavily lean on the action part of action RPG. Can you sometimes do quests non-violently? Definitely. But more often than not, your to-do list revolves around you killing people and things and spiders and ghouls, and there's usually not a whole lot of wiggle room around that part. A lot of the time, your choices are boiled down to, okay, so do you want to set them on fire first and then shoot them, or just do them raw? If you play Fallout New Vegas, made by
do you want to do them raw? That's crazy.
Obsidian, those are some RPG-ass RPG choices where I feel like the player has way more freedom to express themselves morally, ethically, whatever in a given quest.
Guys, okay. Guys, I have a confession. Chat, I have a confession to make right now, right here. I'm going to stand right here and I'm going to make a confession to you guys. I do not like Fallout New Vegas. I'm sorry. I do not like Fallout New Vegas, chat. I'm sorry. I know I'm trans. I use I use he her pronouns. No. I do not think that Fallout New Vegas sucks. The reason why I don't like it, and it's gonna sound like a petty reason, and you guys are gonna be like, Panky, that's the reason why you don't like this game? Yes. I do not like Fallout New Vegas because it takes place in a desert. I hate desert settings in games. I hate desert settings in games. I fucking hate desert settings in games. Desert settings fucking suck. Being in a desert setting in a game makes me feel just hot and humid and sweaty. Like, it just makes me feel like I'm not enjoying my time. Every time I play a game and I get to a desert level, I just turn off the game and I'm like, not today. Not today. Just not today. You know? It's I hate desert settings in video games. I'm telling you, I couldn't get through Fallout because it all takes place in a desert. If Fallout New Vegas took place in something that wasn't a desert, I would like it so much better. Panky got to World 2 Super Mario Bros. Wii and threw the console out the window, bro. I did. I hate desert settings. And every time that there's a game that I've completed that has a desert setting, you had no idea how much I must have I've had to like that game to get through the desert setting. I just hate them. So that's why I don't like Fallout. It's because it takes place in a desert.
But as much as I gush about New Vegas on this channel, there is something missing in this game when compared to Fallout 3.
Atmosphere. I think Bethesda typically crushes that shit.
Oh, and I should say the inverse is that I love games that take place in winter biomes, which is why I like Skyrim so much, is because it takes place in a winter tundra.
Though New Vegas is a much better game mechanically, Betty's World felt a lot more engrossing to explore. Even if a lot of the supposed freedom promised to the player is kind of an illusion. You know, you can't actually kill anyone if they're an essential NPC for a quest line, they just take a nap on the floor. Still, Bethesda does a really great job at making you feel like you're on this grand adventure.
And the soundtracks, dude, oh my god, the Skyrim soundtrack
Dude,
alone might be up
holy
there
shit.
with Chrono Trigger for like the greatest video game score ever made.
All of these songs make you feel
Absolutely.
like you're living inside of an ancient blade made of suede.
Oh my god, I'm getting really fucking tired of always coming home to this dude saying some more stupid crap. Hi, I'm Jakey, and
Ad time, baby.
Attorneys at Law. Thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Is your
Wow,
browser
welcome, TNT.
boring? Does it make you want to go outside? No, don't go out there. There's wolves out there.
Oh,
Opera
no.
GX is a web browser for gamers that you can customize. In the GX store located over here, you can get a variety of browser mods, such as my own, that have their own background
Thank you for the
music,
prime sub
keyboard
to tier 1
sounds,
sub. Thank you,
opening
Mr.
and
Saint.
closing of
Mwah.
tab sounds, theme and color of the
Hashtag
browser
ad.
itself, unique wallpaper. You can also disable and enable specific mods in the mods menu located on the sidebar. Does your web browser keep you informed on all things gaming? It doesn't? What the hell? With the GX corner located over here, Opera
I already
GX will
use
keep
Opera
you up to
GX,
date
bro.
with free
I
games,
use Opera
the best
GX. I'm an
deals,
Opera
the
GX
hottest new
simp. Like, guys,
releases,
look.
and gaming news all in one convenient
Opera GX,
corner.
baby.
Look at this
We love
deal.
Opera
Look at this
GX.
deal. Are you seeing the deals? Look at the fucking deals, Derek. Don't worry about losing all your stuff from those other browsers. Opera GX has a handy import tool to quickly take
Which
all
I
of your
used.
shit like bookmarks
I did
and
use that.
cookies and browsing history from your old rinky-dink browser to your sexy new sports car browser.
Yes,
And
sir.
Opera GX also works with every Google Chrome extension. If you download Opera GX using my special link located here or down below, you'll also have
Posture
access
check,
to a
fine, I do
unique
a posture
feature where
check.
you'll see all of my 12 most recent videos in your GX corner, so you'll never miss it when I upload a new video in 3 months. Use this link located down below to download Opera
Don't worry,
GX
Jakey, we still love
today.
you even
Thanks
if you
again to
upload,
Mr.
like,
GX
once
for
every 2
sponsoring this video. Now let's
years.
get on back to whatever the hell Super Nakio Jakio 64 is. He's counting stars. Let's see if he counts all 120 of them. He probably didn't even do TikTok
Thank you, Mr.
content.
Saint, for the
He's a
5
worthless
gifted
piece of
subs.
shit.
But because
Mwah!
Bethesda games
Thank you,
are
thank
so
you.
unique and so dearly beloved by so many fans, people often give them a free pass when it comes to certain issues because, it's a Bethesda game. What are you gonna do? Issues
Yeah.
such as dated melee combat and extremely dated gun combat, even for the time. Brain dead enemy AI. Clunky UIs that always have to be fixed with mods. Optimization and performance issues that always have to be fixed with mods. Enough bugs to fill a fucking terrarium that always have to be fixed with mods. If any
Terrarium.
other AAA shooter had the same issues that Fallout 3 had, where the guns barely even functioned and cast bullets from their mouths like
Fallout
spells from
3.
a wizard's sleeve.
I haven't played Fallout 3 in a long time. I remember that I played the whole thing that when I was younger. It was like after I finished playing Oblivion, my dad let me play Fallout 3. Thank you, Fei, for the raid! Mwah! Thank you guys for the raid! Welcome! Thank you, Raiders!
And the game ran at 6 frames per second on the PS3 because, oops, you saved too many times. Don't do that. People would riot.
Oh,
but because
no.
these issues are part
People he said he hates, so it's time
of
to
a
leave. I do
giant
hate all
package,
BS.
and the appeal is usually greater than a sum of its janky parts, people just kind of go, what are you gonna do?
It's a Bethesda game.
Which, sure, maybe in 2000.
I gotta say, playing Baldur's Gate 3 really made me realize just how, like, I think how bad Starfield really is. You know? It's cool to come across a YouTuber or streamer who doesn't have a filter. Mwah, I don't have a filter at all. I have zero filter, whatever. But here's the thing, right? I think Larian's greatest, like the biggest like W that they did is that they released Baldur's Gate a month before Starfield came out. That was their biggest like W that they could have gotten, because I played Baldur's Gate before Starfield, and that made me realize like that like playing Baldur's Gate before Starfield made me realize that when I was playing Starfield, how dog shit, how absolutely dog shit Bethesda games really are, like when you really compare them. I think Bethesda, like, they got fucked over with Baldur's Gate releasing before them, Baldur's Gate being as good as it was. Are you also, you sure Taskmaster is a femboy? We're not gonna
Maybe some of this stuff could be ignored, but it is not 2008 anymore.
Hell, it is not even 2011, my brother.
In a post-Skyrim world where they have re-released that game so many times,
Is there
and it has sold over 60 million copies now, the whole "but it's a Bethesda game" excuse is, you guessed it,
Shit from a butt.
Fallout 4 was when I could no longer stay blind to Bethesda's strong reluctance to leave the caveman Stone Age prehistoric time.
Dude, you could still feel all of the typical creation jank underneath everything.
You still had to edit an INI file to change the FOV or turn off mouse acceleration. The physics were still tied to the frame rate. The load times could still go on for an eternity. But hey, at least they made guns function like kind of actual guns this time, which should be the bare minimum for a first-person shooter in 2015. Meanwhile, Halo's 14 getting ready for her winter formal. Simple.
to be honest, I really enjoyed Fallout 4. I really enjoyed Fallout 4 too. I was a really big fan of Fallout 4 as well. To be quite honest, I mean I did really enjoy it. But to be fair, I played Fallout 4 when I was in middle school, like 6th grade middle school, right? So, you know, Fallout 4 is the last good Bethesda game. Man. I liked Fallout 4. The story was kind of stinky, but in terms of like the actual gameplay itself and the vibes of like playing Fallout 4 while turning on the radio that it has and just listening to its old-timey ass music while shooting people with fucking nukes and miniguns, that's a vibe. That is a straight up vibe, and I loved it.
Things for a shooter like swapping
Thank you
weapons
for the
or
follows,
throwing
guys.
grenades felt super unresponsive and wonky, like the game was constantly fighting.
So yes, I liked Fallout 4, although there are definitely issues with it that Bethesda should have addressed by Starfield.
On every delay
By the time they released Starfield.
And again, 2015. This wasn't like a long time ago. But man, I still played this shit out.
It was
of
8
this
years
game,
ago.
And it is Fallout 4 is the most bare bones RPG. Where Fallout New Vegas went left toward old school traditional
Getting
Fallout
nostalgic.
games, Fallout 4 was like, all right, so it's kind of like janky Minecraft but with guns. Which turns out is actually pretty fun. The gameplay loop of exploring a detailed Bethesda world filled with cool stuff, getting loot and supplies from fighting baddies and using VATs, using those supplies to upgrade your guns, working on your settlements with the janky-ass builder that also has to be fixed with mods. It was all pretty fun to me. Objectively, my critic brain is like, yeah, this game has a lot of flaws and the dialogue system really sucks and the perk tree sucks and the role-playing options are basically non-existent. And the main story makes like zero sense if you stop and think about it, because if someone was searching for their kidnapped baby son, why would they stop and help a bunch of other families first and eat 100 rad roaches? But subjectively, my Bethesda brain is like, ooh, boy, I better scrounge up some more of these desk fans, even with all its jank. And there is a lot.
Desk fans are like worth their weight in gold. Holy shit. The fucking desk fans were the biggest just W you could find out in the world. Min-maxing Fallout 4 sucks. You basically sit in sanctuary for like 12 IRL hours before you can leave, dude. I really like I said, I really like Fallout 4. I'm able to recognize that, yeah, it has its flaws, but as someone who just likes Bethesda games, I enjoyed it, and I still play it here and there. Like once every few years, I'll load it up and do a new playthrough.
Lot of jank in Fallout 4. Like any area downtown just straight up doesn't run well.
if you think about it, I liked Fallout 4 only because I downloaded more than 100 mods. Actually, I'm not a person who downloads mods for games, which is like really funny considering that I like Bethesda games. And it's like I really like Bethesda games. And so like I should be someone who like loves mods, but I'm actually not a really big person with mods. Like I usually like playing games vanilla for the most part. So like I've never really played that many Bethesda games with mods or like for any substantial amount of time. I usually just play them vanilla and I have fun that way. Hold on. Yeah, stretch. Stop having fun the wrong way. I'm sorry. My bad.
At all. For what it was, I had fun with Fallout 4.
But what it was
Coming over right now,
unfortunately, a
Fave,
very
you're making me
crystal
so
clear sign
fucking
that
hard right
Bethesda
now.
was
Get over here and
falling
suck my
behind the times harder than ever before.
So what have I joined? We're reacting to a video about Starfield. I see Faye is not the only one with a stretcher D.
Also, I went to kindergarten and first grade here and walked home from school one day and realized we got out early because of 9/11. I don't know why I'm talking about that right now. I wish I could say I was shocked when Fallout 76 turned out to be shit from a butt, but dude, I wasn't shocked at all.
Not trying to be on some cool guy shit, but the second I saw the reveal presentation and how it was gonna
I'm still waiting for the Fallout 4 re-release so that I have way more mod space on Xbox. Dude, I'm so sorry, Lagoon, but that Fallout 4 re-release is never coming. They've been talking about that for fucking years. It's not coming out.
run on the same janky ass engine that barely manages to work as a single player game, and now it's gonna be multiplayer online, like www.com type online. Yeah, Todd, and I'll be a monkey's uncle. Oh, my sweet bimbo, you have returned. You all know this story. Game comes out, one of the worst launches ever. Bug terrarium is like 16 times the detail. Bethesda gets super scummy about refunds and then gets super scummy about pushing these overly priced microtransactions. Also cheaps out on the canvas bag that's supposed to be included in the collector's edition.
It was
the Fallout, dude, the Fallout 76, like all the controversies surrounding that game is fucking absurd. I don't see how they fumbled that bag that hard. Like, holy fuck. They fumbled the shit out of the Fallout 76. What's funny is that I really enjoyed Fallout 76 even without any mods. I don't like to play games a lot, but I played over 100 hours of it. I hated Fallout 76. Fucking hated it. Like when I played the beta, like the break it early test access whatever, I refunded it. Like I played a couple hours of the beta. I was like, this is awful, and I refunded it.
Fallout 76 is like the poster child for taking advantage of a devout fan base and releasing a clearly unfinished, faulty product.
I'll see a lot of people online chalk up 76's failure to, well, it wasn't Todd and his main team that made the game. It was there was their B team, Bethesda Austin, but I'm pretty sure that's not the full story. According to several anonymous devs that worked on 76, as quoted in this Kotaku article that you should check out, people from multiple Bethesda studios worked on this game. Senior staff from Fallout 4's team, staff taken away from the Starfield team, staff taken away from the Redfall team at Arcane, which, Jesus Christ, that's a whole thing on its own.
Arcane.
Jiminy Cricket,
Man.
and Jockstrap. 76,
Man.
as described in this article, sounded like a massive live service black hole that no one wanted to touch, because the writing was all over the bug-covered walls that it was never going to end well. But in typical AAA game dev fashion, QA teams get treated like total shit, and upper management ignores issues raised and continue to force everyone to crunch toward this deadline they knew they were never gonna make. And yeah, Todd Howard may have not directed 76, but he's still listed as executive producer, and he's the one that went on the big
Gods, can we just get a good game on launch that's not half-baked or missing? Dude, Baldur's Gate. Okay, I've refrained from talking about Baldur's Gate, but like too much. But yeah, Baldur's Gate is just the perfect game. Baldur's Gate is the perfect game, just period. Baldur's Gate 3. Perfect, amazing, beautiful game that deserves everything. God, I love Baldur's Gate 3 so much.
stage and was like, this is the biggest fucking game we've ever made. It's 16 times awesome. You're all gonna nut. Yo, run that Denver joint. And the pre-orders go crazy, and everyone's hyped out of their mind.
Never finished the game. I finished the game.
And it's atrocious.
And I finished Baldur's Gate, and it's really good.
And suddenly now Todd is
I love
all,
the story.
yeah, We knew it wasn't gonna be like a high Metacritic score game, but you know what? It sold really well. It's not about how it starts, it's about what it becomes. Thank you very much. Yo, run that John Denver joint.
Come on, man.
According to that same article, Todd was very adamant on the whole no NPCs feature, no matter how much the dev team pleaded.
I need to get Baldur's Gate 3. I've been lazy about getting it, and it's a crime that I haven't played it yet. It is a crime that you haven't played it. It's a very good game. It's you can have. I made a femboy in the game. I made a dragonborn femboy in Baldur's Gate 3. A dragonborn femboy paladin in Baldur's Gate 3. Come on. Like, a dragonborn femboy paladin. Come on. It can't get much better than that, guys. Come on. Oh, yeah. Thoughts on the Fallout TV show they're making? I saw it and, like, I don't know. Some of the CGI look kind of jank. It's made by the same people who made The Boys, so I mean, like, it's got that going for it. So hopefully it goes well.
That it was an
I don't have
insane
any
choice
expectations
for
for it.
Bethesda. You know, the studio most closely associated with NPCs. But also, maybe Todd isn't the main bad guy responsible, you know? Maybe he was just under a lot of pressure from big money investors at parent company ZeniMax to make a live service cash cow that would exploit fans and inevitably make a ton of money.
I don't know all the details, but there's enough breadcrumbs to make it insane to me that someone along the food chain with authority, whether Todd or otherwise, didn't stop and adamantly scream, "Hey, let's maybe delay this game permanently."
But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Regardless of whose fault 76 was, the damage was done and the pressure was on. After an underwhelming and outdated Fallout 4 and an underbaked and severely malnourished Fallout 76, Bethesda really needed to reach for the Skyrim once again and dunk another classic into our laps. But Todd, you don't play basketball.
He plays chess.
He's part of the chess club.
I was the kid. I was writing games when I was, 12, whatever.
I remember when I was a little kid, like when I was looking at the Oblivion tutorials, I watched this like Oblivion documentary like over and over and over and over. I was obsessed with this documentary. Oh, I watched it so much.
And
Fallout
the other
76
kids in the
isn't
block
perfect,
would
but it's
say,
fun to play nowadays.
I'm gonna play quarterback for the Cowboys, and I'd be like,
I wish I could trust
I'm
you.
gonna make video games, and everyone's gonna play them. Like, you dork. Go back to the chess club. Who's laughing now? Yes, I was in the chess club.
It's hard not to like Todd Howard. He has this mic.
Todd Howard is a very charming guy, and it's kind of hard not to like him. He is a charmer. I mean, like, I'm just gonna say it. Todd Howard is a charmer. He's really good at winning people over. You know? And every time I fall for his charm, I get duped by his bullshit game.
Michael Scott type charisma that's weirdly hard to resist.
Yeah.
And I find his story of repeatedly applying to Bethesda only to be rejected over and over really inspiring.
Todd Howard is the
once he got
charisma
his leather
build.
jacket ass
Really.
wearing through that door, he would direct Morrowind, executive produce Oblivion, direct both Fallout 3 and Skyrim. Love him or hate him, the man's resume speaks for itself. And good God, would you look at that jacket. For being considered AAA, Bethesda is not a very big studio. Around 100 people made Skyrim, and they currently only employ like 420 people across all of their
420,
studios. For comparison, at least 1,000 people worked on GTA 5 before its release, and 6,000 different people have worked on it since, which is crazy to me considering how slow GTA Online still is.
Nah, I'm being serious. Adding NPCs alone did a lot for the game, and the map is fun to explore. Weapons are fun to fire, and there's plenty to kill. Where it sucks, though, is the monetization. Yeah, and that's what I don't like. And I'm gonna say it again. I keep bringing it up, but I'm gonna say it again. Baldur's Gate 3. It was a perfect, amazing game that didn't need any of that monetization bullshit. You know? It didn't need all of that. Lethal Company. It doesn't need all that monetization bullshit. It's just a good game that just speaks for itself. Like Lethal Company was made by a single guy who just had an amazing idea. and it's fun, and it's sold way better than Call of Duty. Starfield was made by like a company of at least 400 people, and they couldn't like make a halfway decent game with that. And Microsoft backing them with budget.
On the one hand, I think it's really impressive that Bethesda is much smaller than other big-name studios because it means they must have some really powerful paladins over there casting some serious buffs.
But also, when you're making that AAA money and your games continue to come out janky as shit,
Maybe hire some more fucking people to make your games actually function properly when you sell them for $70.
one source from that same article said, Bethesda is a big company that thinks it's a small company, with a mentality of, well, this worked in the 90s, so we're just gonna keep.
I only saw clips, so I don't understand why Lethal Company is so popular. You need to play it to understand why it's popular. It's fun because it's a really fun co-op game. If you don't like it, that's fine. Objectively, you're wrong. It's a good game, but you know what? I can't convince you to be right.
Keep doing it. I mean, yeah, after playing Starfield, that's definitely what it feels like. Boy, I'll tell you what, I booted that sumbitch up. It was like seeing an X for the first time in 8 years. A poorly optimized X whose human-like facial expressions. Starfield isn't even just Skyrim again, but in space, which was always Todd's elevator pitch. No, it would be such an improvement if it was. But no, this is not a Bethesda game based on the definition.
It also sucks as a new player trying to get into it. Try and get into and get shit on by level 1000 plus greasy 35-year-old neckbeard for no reason, but I don't have to deal with that for $12 a month. Haha.
The dumbass by the piano gave earlier. That signature Bethesda open world exploration and sense of scale and freedom and that feeling of, ooh, there's something interesting around every corner.
Gone.
But Jarbo! There's like 1,000 planets. How can it get any more open world than that? Yeah, and you want to know what you do on 99% of those 1,000 planets?
This, you walk and walk and walk and...
It's a game you need friends to play with, though. Yeah, so what? It's a good game. It's a good co-op game. It's made by a single guy. I don't know. Like, yeah, you need friends to play it, but that doesn't take away the fact that it's an amazing game.
Sprint and jump and jetpack jump and get really good at watching your O2 sprint meter go up and down and up and down. There is no rover to drive. There is no ship to fly. You just walk and walk and walk until you get to the most copy-pasted structure that you have already seen a bunch of times.
Starfield is the exploration equivalent of holding the Player 2 controller that isn't actually plugged in. It is the illusion of planetary exploration duct taped together by 1,000 loading screens and a strong desire to waste so much of your time.
Let's talk about fast travel. Can you say fast travel? Fast travel.
Fast travel.
Loading screen.
Loading screen.
Loading screen. Loading screen before fast travel? After fast travel. Loading screen. Fast traveling to complete a quest. Fast traveling to start a quest. That's so silly. Loading screen. Peekaboo, loading screen. Can you say fast travel? Wasting your time? No. Wasting my time? Yes. 2023? Bethesda released this in 2023. Oh no! Can you say leather jacket?
In other Bethesda games, you wanted to walk to your destinations because fast traveling meant you might miss out on some neat dungeon or cool, unique structure or wacky enemy along the way.
Not only is fast travel highly recommended whenever possible in Starfield, but it is straight up required.
It is required.
You cannot fly your ship.
That is the worst part. It's required. I'm required to fast travel everywhere I fucking go in this game. Why do I have to fast travel everywhere and go through constant loading screens? Oh my god!
Or even on a single planet. You can enter your ship with a nice loading screen and then sit in your pilot's chair with a nice unskippable animation and then take off with another nice loading screen and then pick your destination from space and fast travel there with another loading screen and then click on the planet to land with another loading screen. Or if your destination is in space, do another unskippable animation to dock your ship, follow.
I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, I need to take a nap listening to all this. Like, I'm tired, guys. This is making me exhausted just listening to it.
by another immediate loading screen. But hopefully, if you've already discovered the specific location you want to go to, you can just fast travel straight there. The second I realized I was avoiding my ship whenever possible, you know, the central core part of a space exploration game, it was over. The most heartbreaking part is that the shipbuilder is fucking amazing. It's like
that is the one thing that Starfield has, like, that I will say is objectively good. The shipbuilder is fucking amazing in this game. It is an insanely customizable and just detailed feature, and you can make anything you want, and it's so cool. They put so much time and effort into the shipbuilding, and this is a genuinely good thing that I hope that they try to that they try to improve on in future games. Like, I think that's awesome. This shipbuilding is so cool. It just sucks that the game attached to the shipbuilding sucks. And like, a thing that I was hoping for them to add before before the game launched is that I hope that they would I was hoping that they would add something like a player ship catalog, so that like you could upload your ship schematics to the to a server, and then other players could download your ship schematics, and then you could go through a catalog of player made ships, and you could just download their schematics, so that if someone makes a really cool ship, I could just download theirs and copy it into my thing. Or if somebody made a really good version of the Normandy, which is a ship I really like from Mass Effect, I was hoping that I'd be able to download someone who made the Normandy in Starfield. I don't see why they didn't adding in some sort of ship uploader and downloader from other players. That was such a slam dunk feature. I don't see how they didn't think of adding this.
Virtual Legos. It is by far the best new thing Bethesda.
Starfield isn't perfect, but I had a blast with it, being a space rogue causing trouble ever. I hated Starfield. I hated it. I refunded it. I don't like it.
Bethesda did with this game. But where do you get to fly your ship that you just lovingly spent 3 hours making? In orbit!
Yay! Orbit! Yay!
If you want to see your magnificent creation actually move around and fast travel on up to space and float around fighting bad guys and running away from cops with the awful bounty system, which
What the fuck is the point of the ship if I'm just gonna be fast traveling anywhere in it anyway? The only time that I'm ever in space is when I'm in orbit getting ready to go into a loading screen to go to a planet. What the fuck is the point of the ship?
We'll get to later. I will spend way too much time talking about that later. What's really weird is that between the different elements you can mine on planets and the different things you can prioritize within the shipbuilder, there's enough breadcrumbs here to assume that at one point Starfield was probably more of a survival type space, meaning that landing on a planet maybe served more of a purpose than just sort of wandering around aimlessly. Maybe the temperature changes in extreme conditions actually mattered more than they currently do, which is not really at all. The shipbuilder even has options to upgrade the fuel tanks or a grav drive so that you can jump further into a system. But if you don't upgrade those things, that's fine too. You'll just have to fast travel to a closer system first, and then fast travel to the one you actually want to go to. So upgrading that stuff in your ship just saves you from seeing 2 loading screens, and now you only see 1.
What the fuck, Starfield?
Real?
Starfield has 1,000 planets, and I wish it had 5.
Yeah, not every planet in real life space would have a bunch of cool stuff on it either.
Yeah, duh. But that's not my point.
My point is that this is not.
Yeah, people talking about oh, well, Starfield is accurate to real life planets because not every planet will have something cool on it. I don't fucking care if I don't care about real life. We're talking about a video game that I meant to load up and play and have fun. I don't give a shit about what's realistic. Let me do what is fun in the game and not what is realistic. I could give less of a shit about realism as long as it makes me just excited to play the game. Why do I have to care about realism? Oh my god, I'm reacting to a video about Starfield right now. I'm ranting about the game. Just God. Just don't stop adding realism into video games when it's fucking boring. This is a video game. I am looking to get away from real life, not simulate real life. I don't want to simulate real life if it's boring. God. It's not God! This is a video game. Holy shit! Why should I give a shit about realism? I'm sorry, just, oh my god, I just, like, found you on TikTok, you cutie pie, wanted to drop by and say hello. Hi. No, it's just, oh my god! I'm sick and tired of I'm just sick and tired of these games. I am sick and tired of these games always striving for realism when realism fucking sucks. Why do you think I play video games? It's because real life is boring. Stop making things realistic and just let me play a fun game. Oh, God. Holy shit. Oh, God. Just, like, Starfield shouldn't have had 1,000 planets. Starfield should not have had 1,000 planets. It should have had 10 very well made and very well crafted planets that were detailed and amazing worlds on equivalent to Skyrim levels of detailed worlds that were. Don't moan so much. Too fucking late. Hold on, let me do a fucking stretch real quick. Same. I hate realism in games, to be fair. All the focus on graphics takes away from the focus on it actually being fun. Yeah, I know. Holy shit. Fun? What's that? Copy paste 1,000 planets because it's realistic? It's like, I don't care if 1,000 planets, like, only 10% of them would have life. Make 10 planet. If only 10% of them have life, give me just 10% of those planets. I don't care about the other 900 planets that have nothing on it. Give me the 10% and make those very well crafted and developed instead of just making them just randomly generated bullshit that doesn't matter.
Not really a good illusion of anything other than the unfortunate
I think games like Starfield are becoming more realistic as a cost-cutting measure, not because it's actually realistic.
Of time. No Man's Sky can also have some boring-ass procedurally generated planets. But you know,
screw high-def graphics. When did we stop caring about art style and start only caring about 27 gigabyte textures?
What? At least you can actually fly to them. Playing Starfield is like watching a magician pull a rabbit out of a hat, but every time he's about to do it, he's like, no, you gotta close your eyes while I do it though. But what about performance? I'm not a Best Buy Geek Squad looking ass. Don't say I am. Starfield may have been made with the shiny new creation engine too, but
the fact that they're still riding the creation engine's dick this many years after it was made for Morrowind specifically is insane. Like, they need to make a new fucking engine. Stop riding creation engine's dick so hard and just make a new engine, because the game fucking sucks. Like, the core base of every Bethesda game sucks because it's on the creation engine. Make something that's good.
You ain't fooling anyone with that too, Todd. You may have slapped a spoiler on it, but it's still a fucking Geo Metro. I'm still editing an INI file just to change the FOV or turn off mouse accelerator.
Why were you talking about dicks in the middle of that? As a programmer, yeah, the engine seems rather beyond repair, honestly.
To make aiming
I know.
feel better. I'm still clicking on doors and seeing that all too familiar fade out loading screen all the time.
Why did you not optimize this game for PC?
We did. It's running great. It is a next-gen PC game. We really do push the technology, so you may need to...
You push the technology by making it so my PC can't fucking run the game when it should be able to run the game perfectly fine. If my PC can run Red Dead Redemption 2 just fine on high-end graphics, I shouldn't need a fucking 4090 to play this game.
To upgrade your
Just
PC
saying.
for this game, but it's got a lot of great stuff going on in it, and the fans are responding awesome.
All right, Todd, I upgraded my PC. But I still can't turn on HDR or even mess with the brightness settings, even though the Xbox version already has HDR. And to get a decent frame rate, I have to use upscaling, but I have an NVIDIA card and you only have FSR supported with no DLSS. Oh, someone already modded DLSS into the game within like a couple days. Oh, programmers are making comprehensive breakdowns on Reddit detailing just how poorly optimized the game is.
Nah, if Todd said it's optimized, then it's probably optimized. I believe him. I will follow my Nord brother into the pearly gates of Sovngarde and finally graze my hand upon that holy leather.
Breaking news, as of November 15th, Bethesda is finally patching Starfield, adding an FOV slider, poorly implemented HDR, and much-needed DLSS support, along with clear massive
Small
performance
indie
gains for
company.
both
Guys,
CPU
don't
and
worry. Bethesda, they're a small indie company. It's fine. Guys. Also, good night, Taskmaster. But damn. Damn.
CPU areas, it's almost as if the game did in fact launch very unoptimized. The timing
like
couldn't
it did.
be better.
Oh my
2
God.
months after everyone already stopped playing it.
This game hurts my stupid giant head. I can't understand it. I can't seem to do anything right after experiencing this so-called game. Oh my God, I didn't even bring that up yet. God damn it.
In Starfield, you can build settlements, and you have more freedom than ever with the builder, but there's not a whole lot of motivators to interact with it other than harvesting resources from a planet largely void of life. Add that to the super confusing structure of actually trying to connect your settlements across star systems and all the fast travel screens in between and your ship cargo and your inventory and getting over encumbered and ugh. In Fallout 4, it wasn't fun because the builder was good. Hell no.
No.
It was janky
Builder
as hell
was
and
awful.
super frustrating. But it was fun because you were bringing life back into the apocalypse and building off of really cool existing unique structures so that the dumbass settlers could take back the land. But all of that was powered by the initial core desire of actually wanting
No
to
Man's
go
Sky
out
was
and
better on
explore
release, and
and
that
shoot
was
stuff.
bad.
Oh yeah, that's right. You shoot guns in this game. Starfield also has guns.
Wow, this game has guns? That's crazy.
Starfield has perks just like Fallout 4, and one of those perks is called Rapid Reload, and it does exactly what you think it would do. It makes your reloads faster.
At least that's what it should do. I'm a gamer. I like going fast. Throw it on, Todd. Send me the bill. It's on the house.
Days later, I'm playing the game and I throw my last grenade. I reload my gun, and it's way faster than usual. What's going on here? Come to find out, that perk hasn't worked the entire time I've had it, because evidently, if I have any sort of throwable equipped rapid reload, it just doesn't work. I thought maybe I was alone, but nope. I looked it up, and apparently it's a common bug that, at least as of November 15th, still persists. Also, you know that
Even though I
text
got
that
enjoyment out of
appears at the
Starfield, I
top of
really
the
wish
screen of
most games
Bethesda
weren't
games
released
when you're doing
unfinished
stealth
now.
that
Well,
says,
you better buckle your fucking fucking bootstraps, buddy, because guess what? It's gonna keep happening, and there is nothing you can do about it. There is nothing you can do about it, about games releasing unfinished now. Every company's gonna do it now because it's become the norm for games to release unfinished. And guess what? You're gonna sit down and you're gonna take it like a good boy.
is hidden. Not only does this 2023 game use the same bare-bones stealth mechanics that are like 20 years old at this point, seeing that text up top, that's a perk now.
The best thing we can do is stop buying the fucking games. Well, that's not... Okay, what you got... Okay. Guys, do you think the average 50-year-old dad who works a 40-hour work week, has 3 kids, and has maybe 2 hours to play a video game every week is gonna stop buying video games because they released unfinished? Do you think that he's gonna care? He isn't. And guess what? That 50-year-old dad who has 2 hours to play video games every week, that is the average video game player. That is the average video game player, okay? Average video game player is that dad right there. And unfortunately, those are the majority of people who buy video games. So as long as that majority keeps buying video games, there's nothing we can do because they're just going to keep buying it because they don't stay in the loop of video games and like what to do. Video gaming is dying. I'm not saying video gaming is dying. I'm saying that as long as like the majority or like the large majority of gamers keep buying games, which are the people who don't even keep up on news, it's gonna keep happening because they're the ones buying games. even if everybody who was caught up in gaming like we are and like knew about like how awful the industry like is becoming, like there's nothing we can do. Maybe companies will see the success of BG3 and fucking learn for once. Very unlikely. Very unlikely. Maybe companies will see that Lethal Company outsold Modern Warfare 3 and maybe they actually do something.
And you can spend another whole ass perk point, and I quote, to upgrade the stealth meter, which just shows you if you're being close to being detected, which is basically exactly what the eye reticle thing already did in Skyrim.
Well, this is way better and worth spending the point, trust me.
The gunplay in Starfield is an improvement over Fallout 4, but that's like saying a bicycle is an improvement over a Razor scooter. It's still not an AK-47. The guns generally work a bit better with less delay. You're a bit more agile. You have a jetpack, which sometimes that can be fun. But as a shooter, in 2023, this game is still getting lapped by games from 2012. Hell, games from 2007. 2004. I'm serious. Sit down, play Starfield for an hour.
BioShock really does eat Starfield's ass, doesn't it, chat?
Or Call of Duty 4, or any game in the orange box, and then go back to Starfield and tell me how it feels. Especially on controller, it just feels wrong. Fallout 4's shooting was barely serviceable only because of everything that surrounded it. It worked good enough because you got to explore a cool map and frequently fight cool, varied enemies using VATS. In Starfield, the cool map is gone, the enemies are sometimes varied, but it is predominantly brain-dead humanoid space pirates that will just stand there and let you shoot them, and VATS doesn't exist in
2023 was a good year for games, just people buying like I will say 2023 was a great year for games. 2023 has been amazing. We've gotten amazing games like Lethal Company, Baldur's Gate 3, there was Halls of Torment, which I haven't really talked about that much, but what were all the games that came out this year? There was Spider-Man 2, which I haven't played, but I know it's a good game. Tears of the Kingdom game releases. There was Dead Space. I really like Diablo 4 personally. I was a big fan of it. What was other games? There was Pikmin 4, Resident Evil 4. There was Street Fighter 6. There was Mortal Kombat 1. This was a great year for video games. Mario Wonder, Liza P. Yeah. 2023 was amazing for video games, okay? So it's not like gaming is dying. This year was definitely one of the best years we've had for video game releases, and definitely one of the strongest years we've had in a long time, for sure. But that doesn't mean that these AAA companies don't know shit
anymore, so the act of shooting someone needed to feel really, really good. Throw in the still clunky melee combat, the super
it was an amazing
UI
year,
of
so
menus inside of menus, and the D-pad.
It's just, on top of it being an amazing year, like, we had some of the best video games of all time this year, and then we also had some of the worst video games of all time this year. I'm not gonna say Starfield was one of the worst video games of all time. It's definitely not, but it was definitely the most disappointing release of the year. But we had games like the Gollum video game and also the King Kong video game as well. Like, we had some real stinkers this year for sure. There's definitely some stinkers like Starfield and Redfall. I completely forgot about Redfall. He mentioned it earlier in the video. I completely forgot about it already. Atrian Odyssey Origins Collection was a great revival of a series that has died on the 3DS. Man.
Weapon swapping from Fallout 4 because apparently having a weapon wheel might make
the Gollum game was comedically bad. I'm like 90% sure, like, I've heard other people say this, I'm like 90% sure they made the Gollum game as a tax write-off. I guarantee you they made it as a tax write-off. I mean, at least we have some oh yeah, there was also The Day Before, if anybody was ever keeping up with that game that released like a couple weeks ago, or like last week. We have some amazing ones that might actually took over shit. Every year could actually be good if you don't limit yourself with AAA games. Yeah, I know, right? I heard that too. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, man,
creation engine explode, and what you have is a worse version of something that you have already played
8 years ago. All right, so what about quests? Bethesda has always been so strongly associated with NPCs and quests.
Here's an example of the most
Too bad their fucking stories and their quests sucks.
common basic ass type of quest in Skyrim. Hey, can you go to this dungeon and kill a bad guy? All right.
The day before, dude, did you guys hear about this? Like the day before, this was like a really anticipated like MMO, like zombie survival game, kind of like DayZ, and it released, and it literally shut down the studio like 4 days after the game came out because it performed so awful.
It sounds good. You know what? I'm even just gonna walk over there because it's not that far. Wow.
Dude, I'm pretty sure the day before was like a Harvard experiment or something. Like, I don't know what experiment they were doing. Probably like how badly they could dupe customers into like getting hype for a game. But dude, that was a man.
What's this? A dragon?
Dog
In
shit
this
twice.
economy? Well, I mean, I'm here. I may as well ladder stall tomahawk the dragon real quick. All right, that's done. What?
There was also, dude, the Walking Dead game. There were so many fucking bad games that came out this year, and I forgot about every single one of them. Oh my god. Yeah, this year was the best year for games and also the worst year for games. Holy shit.
What was I doing? Oh, right, the dungeon. Oh, well, hold on a second. There's a cave right here. I mean, I'm here.
20 minutes later.
All right, that was a pretty cool cave, and I feel like I got some cool shit out of that. Anyways, the dungeon. All
The
right,
Walking Dead needed to make me sit down and smoke a cigarette.
Okay. I'm done. That was a pretty enjoyable, fun hour of gameplay I just got to experience. Here's an example of the most common basic-ass type of quest in Starfield. Hey, we lost our scientist friends. Can you go find him? We don't know where he is because we don't have any walkie-talkies or email or texting or cell phones in this planet, in this world. Yeah? Sure, I guess. All right. Damn. He's kind of out there. Whatever. I'm sure some cool stuff will happen along the way.
5 minutes later.
Man, I sure am getting pretty good at sprinting and jetpacking, and you know, I bet the cave will have like a cool.
This is
monster
exactly
in it
how
or
it was in
something once I
Starfield,
get
by the
there.
way.
Oh,
This is exactly
it's
how it
literally
was.
just you. And now I have to take you back with me? Well, okay, apparently I can just fast travel back, but I don't take you with me. So I just went to tell you that your friends are looking for you, and now you're finding your own way back and going back. So why the hell did I even need to come find you in the first place? What the hell even is this game, dude? I shit you
The one
not,
big
that
issue I have
type
with
of quest
Starfield is that
pops
the quick
up all the
saves
time.
corrupted my
And even if it
120
isn't
hour plus
Operation Go
game save.
Rescue
Man.
Baby Scientist, it is something similarly mindless and
It just
uninspired.
works.
A lot of quests in Starfield just play out as a game of fast travel telephone, where you talk to one person and they're like, hey, go tell this person in another galaxy that I said this. And you're like, okay, and you go through several fast travel loading screens and land at a place and go through another loading screen and then walk through a city and get to another place to talk to them, and then you finally talk to the person. And
Yeah, the fact that you played Starfield 120 hours, I'm sorry, but you're stupid for that one.
they're like, well, tell them that I said this. And so you do all of that again, and you go through all the fast travel loading screens and the loading screens and the entering building loading screens, and you're like, all right, well, they said this, and it's like, is this what we're doing now? Like, if I'm like 8 years old and you told me, like, take all the graphics and stuff away, that like, hey, this is what video games are gonna be like, I'd be like, what the fuck? And this game is not a
What
super
the fuck?
in-depth choice, complex, branching, narrative, rich dialogue, CRPG. Like, I don't
Disco
expect that
Elysium.
from Bethesda, and that's fine, I never have. But if you're not that, and you're also not successfully doing the thing that largely defines your games, aka satisfying and rewarding open world exploration, then what the hell even are you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, if you're not doing the stories right, and you're fucking up the stories, and you're also fucking up the open world, which isn't even open world, it's just a randomly generated fucking, like, vomit pile. It's like, what the fuck is the point of Starfield?
Like, I don't know what genre I would even call this game. Oh no, I'm being... Hold up, we're gonna collect on a bounty. Oh man, we're gonna talk about the bounty in a bit. That's really funny timing. All right, well, Sorry, gaming. Before the game came out, Phil Spencer, Xbox guy, said something along the lines of, I don't remember exactly, but it was like, I played it so many hours, whatever. I'm going full space pirate.
And I got excited when I heard this because I love game systems that let you
Starfield is a walking simulator. That's the genre. Yeah, like a Death Stranding.
I'm sure some of you remember how I obsessed over the wanted bounty system in Red Dead 2 because I just love pushing things and trying to understand how they mechanically work.
Wait, what?
They mechanically work.
Oh man, the sound got borked.
Space. We don't actually want to throw you in jail.
I don't know what the fuck happened. The sound got borked.
Hey, we don't actually want to throw you in jail, but we want you to be an informant in the space pirate fleet.
Sound got copyrighted, yeah.
Fucking rat.
Oh my god.
High bound
that.
It
fucking sound got copyrighted, yeah.
Really did that.
It was a total bloodbath. Like, I killed so many dudes and I racked up such a high bounty, but I noticed that a lot of the named NPCs wouldn't actually die when I shot them, which was a bit concerning, but I just kept on fighting. And eventually I fought my way all the way into the cockpit, and there was a second where I was like, oh shit, am I about to hijack this police ship and get the fuck out of here? Nope. Can't fly this ship. And before people go in the comments and say, oh, it's because you got to upgrade your pilot license thing. Nope. You still can't fly it. You can't fly this ship, or a whole lot of other ships for that matter, no matter what.
That fucking stinks. Why can't I pilot the military base ship and go flying off with it after I kill everybody? That's so lame.
No matter what, because Bethesda wants you to do space their way.
This bullship isn't exclusive to just that quest either.
If you've played the game, you know that a lot of the times when you land on a planet, another ship will coincidentally land around the same time, and you can see them and run over there and fight them. And you would assume, I just killed all these pirates. All right, logical next step, loot the ship. Take the ship. But a lot of the time, not every time, but a lot of the time,
you need to just keep playing and giving them money.
Let me. Most of the time I just saw this prompt and I didn't know why. So that bounty I mentioned during the shootout with the space cops, yeah, it's very easy to quickly rack up a very high bounty in this game. And whenever you travel to a planet that has a major city,
let me be the
contraband scan on
John
ship
Paul
before you
Jones'
can
face.
Do I even like video games anymore?
They also check to see if you have a bounty in that star system. Contraband can be hidden to help avoid detection on the scan, but it requires having hidden cargo space on your ship.
Why am I here? Why am I doing any of this?
Normal items that you can pickpocket or steal aren't marked as contraband, but they are marked as stolen items, and they have this little red icon, but contraband items always have this orange icon because it means they're extra illegal.
Help me.
So let's start here. Say you want to be a grimy little space thief, so you're constantly pickpocketing and stealing stuff wherever you go. In typical Bethesda fashion, a lot of the time, if you're sneaking and stealing, you won't get caught stealing. Hope you spent the perk point on the stealth thing, but oops, sometimes you just do get detected, even if no one is around to witness you murder that person except that person, or no one is around to witness you steal that cup except that cup. Suddenly, everyone in the galaxy knows that it was specifically you that stole that cup, even though apparently cell phones or email or fax machines or texting don't exist based on the context of most of our fucking quest objectives.
I don't want to do this anymore. Please let me go.
So
I remember in a quest I had to go to a big fancy ship and kill everyone in it, and since it was a ship, I thought maybe I could steal it, but I didn't even have a cockpit. It didn't even have a cockpit room, even though it should because it's a ship, but it doesn't even match up with the outside. And didn't come with a cockpit room. That fucking sucks.
Now you have a bounty in that star system, and then you're like, well, if I already have the bounty, then I guess I'll just keep doing it. And if anyone gets in my way, I'll shoot him because I'm a freak. That's my identity now. I'm a freak.
Yo.
I wasn't born this way, but I was molded by Todd and his leather. So you're traveling around stealing stuff from all these planets, trying to have a grand old time, and your bounty is getting pretty stacked. But oh shit, there's a main story mission in a city that you haven't been to yet.
It is a bad game.
Star system that you have that giant bounty in. You get scanned, the cops are pissed. You can choose to fight them off and drive fast travel away, but if you want to ever enter that city, you're gonna have to do something about that bounty. So you warp back, and this time you're like, all right, well, I can't pay the bounty because it's insane, so I guess take me to jail.
The fuck?
You're like, all right, well, I can't pay the bounty.
Things like this strike me in Fallout 4. First, when I tried to roleplay as a psycho killer, but there are no roleplay elements and no means to do something like this. And No, they continue to make limits like this game. The way you intended. It's a terrible game by masochists with OCD. Dude, it just, man, Baldur's Gate 3, am I right, fellas? You can kill anybody you want in the game, and the game accounts for what you do almost every single time without fail. The game accounts for all the bullshit you want to pull off in the game, and it's fucking amazing. God, Baldur's Gate 3, am I right?
Bounty, because it's insane, so I guess take me to jail. And
It's
when
like
you
a
go to jail in
1.2
this game, the
million
cops
credit.
will not only
Bounty. You know, it's not a bad game because a game means that has some fun. I don't think anyone had fun with Starfield. Love me some Astarian action. Nah, I was a Karlach romancer all the way. Chat. I was a Karlach romancer all the fucking way. I sexed the shit out of Karlach. Baldur's Gate 3 is as close to playing D&D as it gets without a dungeon master, and that's what I fucking love about it. Baldur's Gate 3 makes it feel like I'm actually playing D&D without actually playing D&D. Oh, God.
remove every single item from your inventory that was ever stolen, which slowly
Mommy Karlach
lists away at the top of the screen.
Do you have
one
any
by
pictures
one.
of your BG3 character? I do, but they're all naked. Like, I only took naked screenshots of my BG3 character.
This is never explained in the game as like some lore accurate space technology that tracks ownership. It's just magic where a cop 4 planets away knows that you stole this specific
Just
pen. But your
sensitive. I
punishment
don't
for
feel like
jail
doing all
time
that
is
work.
an XP debt. It will never lower your current level, but it will erase any current XP progress that you've made towards leveling up, and potentially even put you into the negative as well.
That's
if
insane.
It's high enough.
Which it will be.
This is kind of like how jail time in Oblivion could randomly lower some of your skills. Starfield says, hey, we know we can't actually force the player to sit in a jail cell, but we want there to be some sort of consequence for it being bad. And part of me is like, damn, that's actually kind of interesting and creative, except leveling up.
Faces for custom characters are kind of mid, but damn, the bodies look good, dude. I've nutted to my Baldur's Gate 3 characters so many times, for real.
Game. For example, to level from level 10 to level 11, it's around 900 XP, and it only gets exponentially more grindy the higher you get. So if you have a high bounty, which is not hard to
Same.
get, you will be in this much debt. Have fun crawling out of that hole, you filthy little pirate bitch. It's also worth noting that much like a lot of stuff in
That's
this game,
crazy.
this mechanic is barely explained at all, and the only way
Your
to
Baldur's Gate
realize
3
that
character is
you
gonna
are in
gain
XP
sentience
debt
and
or
kill
track
you
it is to
IRL.
look at the status screen.
I understand having some
I
sort
hope
of
so. They're
punishment
really
for
hot.
doing something bad and getting caught. I really do.
But when leveling is this grindy, and the perks you get
Give me
from
a moment. Let
leveling
me
up
stop watching the
don't
video.
actually work, or just straight up aren't worth it, and the game requires you to be scanned in order to land on certain planets, because you can't actually just fucking fly the ship to the planet in this goddamn space game. Being punished this harshly for choosing a playstyle that is supposed to be viable in this so-called RPG is just super disappointing.
Self-cess
Starfield
is
would
the
be a
second type of
disappointment
wincest. You're so
regardless
real
of
for
whatever
that
year it came
75.
out, but unfortunately,
We
for
should have
Bethesda,
self-cess right now.
2023 was obscenely stacked with fantastic games in each of
Right?
those specific genres that Starfield takes turns
Right?
cosplaying as.
It is an open world exploration
2023 was
game
fucking
with
stacked.
little to no actual meaningful exploration. It is a glorified looter shooter that is still catching up to games that are now old enough to be in high school. And it is a role-playing game with so few meaningful roles to actually play
Man.
in relationships.
BG3
to
is so
engage
good.
with.
I really want to like this game. I am always going to cheer for Todd and Bethesda because they have given me so many amazing, memorable experiences for the past 20 years that have largely influenced my love for gaming. I want the next Elder Scrolls game to knock it out of the park. I will always root for anyone trying to make an
Mine was
ambitious
Baldur's
video
Gate
game.
3.
But after seeing what Bethesda has
Obviously.
put out over the last decade, I just couldn't contain these thoughts and feelings any longer.
I hope this video was at least kind of interesting.
gay if you give
or
yourself a
at
hand
the very
job?
least
That is gay.
digestible in a way
If you
that
give yourself a
sort
hand
of
job, it's gay
made
'cause you're
sense,
jerking
even
off
though
a
I
dick.
feel like I should be in the psych ward. If you can still see me right now, thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time. This is actually my off-road ball because when I was filming the campfire scenes, my dumbass didn't realize that a yoga ball that I've been using for like 6 years shouldn't go out in the woods where there's like prickly goat head things, and I popped a bunch of holes in it. But fortunately, my sister, the same one that I stole the original yoga ball from, had another gray yoga ball that's like got a bunch of ribs on it. So this my off-road ball. Also, I only realized recently that there's like no aliens in Starfield, like big-eyed gray fuckers
That does, dude, the fact that there are no aliens in Starfield,
from Signs, not a single one.
the fact that there are no aliens in Starfield feels like such a fucking scam. Why are there no aliens in the game? Why did Bethesda not give a shit to give me like Mass Effect? What the fuck?
I have made
Why did I not get aliens in my game? Come on. Oh. But yeah. TLDR, Starfield stinks and it sucks and it's a bad game that I fucking hated, and I'm so disappointed that, man, I'm just so disappointed in everything about Starfield and Bethesda right now. I want them to make good games. I want Bethesda to be good, chat. It's not like I'm praying for their downfall. I want them to be good, but man, it's a Christian game, so no alien because the Bible said no.